So Esther, we have exited Greenlink. It's been a long journey. We've now got this amazing piece of infrastructure built. It's a cable, 500 megawatt cable running between Wales and Ireland, transmitting electricity either one way or the other way, powering 380,000 homes. Remarkable achievement. Where did we start this journey?
We first got involved with Greenlink back in 2019. Really on the back of a thematic into grid flexibility and ensuring that grids can be stabilised in an efficient manner. And actually it was blackouts at the time that triggered that thinking 12, 18 months before the big London and South East blackout in the UK. And it really very starkly focused our attention on the fact that in particular UK and Ireland, of course, are island nations with quite constrained power markets. So putting in a piece of infrastructure that can seamlessly, within a second, transport 500 megawatts of capacity from one to the other and back. But then, of course, Indu, I remember when you got involved with the project, actually that conviction was put to test, right? Particularly on the regulatory side.
So we had both Irish and UK regulators, we had all the planning authorities, the governments as well, really wanting to make sure that the electricity markets were linked, that the grids were resilient for the future. A year in, we had communicated that there were some delays with the project, which then triggered a regulatory review to reassess, based on the information, where we were in the project, what the ultimate benefit to the consumer was. I remember spending, time on calls with the CEO on a daily basis, looking at the costs at the time, what work streams we had to stop, what work streams we had to continue. It was a really stressful time for the whole of the project team because we just didn't have visibility that, there was a future in the project. But I mean, in the end, the outcome was a good one, and the cap and floor, the regulation was secured on the basis of an efficient spend of capex for a really well-defined consumer benefit. Once the regulatory review was over, then we stepped into the full project.
On the broader value creation, moving this from essentially at the time we got involved, a project combined by contracts and ambition and a small team, as you say, to what, when I was out in Ireland a couple of weeks ago, it was just a powerful piece of grid infrastructure humming with, at the time, 12% of energy being transmitted. What were some of the key building blocks of creating that infrastructure and ultimately creating also the value on our investment?
Looking ahead at financial close, we had to get all of these different work streams all to this kind of single convergence point, right? We signed an EPC procurement contract 6 months before we got to financial close with the lenders. Ultimately, we achieved a first-in-class project financing for Greenlink with excellent terms. That then set us in good stead for construction and meant that we have now delivered, a de-risked operating piece of critical infrastructure. It's got a secured cap and floor, so fixing income for the coming 24 years. It's now put us in a good position for the exit process as well.
How many people looked at the investment when we put it to market? So took a first interest in it?
So, it was a wide range of buyers, had more than 100 parties that we were talking to. It's the first project finance interconnector. It was the first interconnector to come to market. We also had to make sure that there was enough understanding of this unique project. So we were speaking to a number of different buyers. There was enough interest in this so that we were able to maintain the competitive process all the way through and ultimately achieve an excellent result.
But then you take sort of a different perspective and you look at what this asset that we've delivered with our clients' capital, how it contributes to societies across the UK and Ireland, right? Probably much beyond the 25-year regulatory life for an asset that's going to run for 60 years from now, maybe a bit more.